Hi, welcome to She Spice. It's one more day of Drake, taking L's so as indicated by the most recent reports. J Prince and Drake could have had a spat. However, J Sovereign ain't no beginner. He didn't pass on Drake to fight for himself, so what is it then? Well, Sovereign is clearly coercing him for cash, and Mase is spilling the tea. Yet stand by. How did Mase enter what is going on? Well, he as of late butted heads with J Prince, and he's utilizing the valuable chance to uncover Ruler's skeleton. As per him, the music had opportunity and energy to send an advance notice his direction. However, where was he during Drake's problem with Spot? Well, as per the image Mase is painting, J Prince was relaxing, while at the same time getting compensated in full. Exactly how can J Sovereign blackmail Drake? Has he truly been decreased to a mannequin, and is Mama going to be protected? Subsequent to pulling a move like this on one of the most famous record leaders in the hip bounce industry, we should figure out. I saw this going in a spot that I feet. L would have finished his vocation in the event that Drake would have put out the tune. Drake takes frantic actions, so this all began after Drake wound up in the titles. Obviously, he dislikes us from being played in Houston. To be fair, fans, don't fault the man as of now. Drake, presumably, here's the melody in his rest. Yet you got to concede venturing to boycott the tune in a city appears to be somewhat negligible. So did Drake, as a matter of fact, do it? Or was everything simply bits of goss? Sip very much DJ Airy answered a tweet discussing Drake's move composing. Better believe it. I have as of now caused problems a couple of times for playing it at certain clubs when someone else expresses out loud whatever inconveniences mean. And I'm really curious to realize what inconveniences mean too. Like, was she verbally condemned? Was she not paid? Like, what happened, young lady? We really want more subtleties. And furthermore, after that, we got more reports. One individual said that clubs like CZA Mud Comp and Prospect Park were a portion of the ones that didn't permit Spot's track to be played anyway. What DJ Ari presumably didn't expect was her tweet to turn into a web sensation. And when the circumstances went crazy with individuals fooling Drake for stooping so low, Ari chose to end her quietness and think about what she needed to say. She posted an Instagram story with the subtitle titles, which can be deluding. Drake nor J Sovereign never told me not to play the tune. Advertisers and individuals that regard those folks told me not to. And it was perceived. That is all there is to it. That is everything except lovely people. Nobody anticipated that Drake and J Prince should really provide out the orders. And by, obviously, there will be a broker. One individual remarked, "Stand by who TF thought Drake and J Prince were straightforwardly telling them not to play it." Hello, we realize they didn't straightforwardly do it. They had others do it for them clearly. However, that's not what I believe you should zero in on here. The elephant here in the room isn't the way that Drake dislikes us restricted in Houston. It's the way that he needed to utilize his own associations and cash to get it going. I intend what befell every one of those hoard ties that he was flaunting about what befell. J Sovereign, where was he during the meet? Well, it seems to be J Prince could have taken Drake's cash and made a run for it. J Prince and Drake's long history. J Sovereign and Drake have been in a comparable situation throughout recent years. Back in 2007, J Sovereign's child, Jazz Sovereign, who was just 19 years of age at the time, went searching for a craftsman to bring under the care of him, and that is the point at which he ran over Drake's in the space page. Ruler Jr. obviously enjoyed what he saw, and before Drake could completely figure out what was happening, he was on a plane to Houston Jazz. They put him and Lil Wayne in a similar room, and the rest, as it's been said, was history. The youthful Canadian rapper with huge dreams marked an arrangement with greenbacks. Furthermore, try the music bunch with Sovereign, maintaining all authority to 33% of the rapper cash. To be fair, things weren't generally smooth between the two gatherings. Ruler even recorded a claim against the two organizations saying that he wasn't redressed. However, Drake and Sovereign never allowed the monetary or legal issues to separate their companionship, no matter what the difficulties. They continued to hang out. And I understand what you're thinking, these two are old buddies yet. That is not it, you see. EXT0RTING came from nothing. He grew up carrying on with a hazardous life in the city of the ridiculous nickel condos in Houston, encompassed by unlawful substances and weapons, protected to say he knows how to throw a jab or two. So one reason Drake kept it cool with J Prince such a long time was on the grounds that he wanted security. We as a whole know Drake's no hoodlum. I mean, contrasted with his American partners, the man's vanilla, yet Drake moves around in the US and the roads are not precise. I protected particularly for somebody like the Canadian rapper, who's made foes en route, and this is where EXT0RTING comes in. EXT0RTING's domineering principle. You see, following 40 years of being dynamic in the business, J Prince is taken a gander at as somebody who ought not be meddled with. However, despite the fact that he found Drake, he wouldn't be giving out his administrations with the expectation of complimentary. Like most people, EXT0RTING goes where the cash is, as it's exceptionally expected that Drake had J Prince on the finance to face his conflicts. I realize that you think this is presumably fantastical. However, this has been happening in the hip bounce industry throughout recent years. The clouded side of hip bounce, even Kanye West didn't have a decision, however, to surrender to the framework some time ago. Things sort of went sideways for I during his excursion to Philadelphia. He may act behind a camera, yet nobody considers Kanye a hooligan. Rather, he's to a greater extent a rural rapper, and that is the reason definitely needed to bring in a specialist to manage what is going on. Shockingly, that individual ended up being Beanie Siegel, who later proceeded to discuss it. Individuals that you affirmed them. He being neurotic, they had seats pulled up to his table where he was eating out with his companions, and they wouldn't eating gracious definitely. So something was going to happen to Kane. No doubt, better believe it was genuine. It was genuine, no doubt. They play the food was cold. It was, as it were, several bicycles settling up with them. Kanye was adequately fortunate to leave, since Rick Ross sure wasn't. The rapper was said to perform at Detroit's blistering 107.5 Summer Jams show back in 2014. However, he wasn't permitted to enter the city as he was encircled by a sum of 100 people. A lot was on the line. The program chief Jay Hicks told Hip Bounce DX, "I will be genuine with you all. I will be genuine as if we had Rick Ross just external here this evening at around 11 when he was maneuvering up to come into Cheney Park. He was met by 100 people outside. We have attempted to arrange each asset and requested that he return. He is in apprehension about his life. He might in Hollywood never return to DAT. Yet, why was Rick Ross denied section? Well, he neglected to get consent from Detroit local stunt, following right after him restricted airspace. The rapper said, "I'm simply a call away. Come in without consent. I would rather not hear you got to say yet." Rick neglected to take his words genuinely and address the cost as open embarrassment. Hell stunt even took ownership of playing with Rick, telling bulletin to every one of the people who need to understand what the restricted airspace is. If it's not too much trouble, go to 117 on this video and statement me there. This is what they bring checking in, and throughout the long term it stays a focal piece of the hip jump industry. Obviously fans don't support it. One individual remarked, "Checking in is the most idiotic to me. Taylor Quick and Bruno Mars ain't checking in, nor is the Walmart and McDonald's that they're working to show up for quite a while." However, these men got the nerve to tell a rapper attempting to take care of various individuals with their ability that they need to pay you for playing out their ability to individuals who live there. I can't get behind that. It genuine be your own kin in any case, notwithstanding individuals raising them air voices. Things haven't changed, and Jay Ruler really figured out how to transform this into an amazing open door for himself. Throughout the long term, the record chief has made it a highlight safeguard. The rappers under the care of him consider him a protector. Some time ago, NBA little fellow had his home looted, and J Prince posted a video with his taken things playing brother back here. He coming on the folks, we taking all that like they even have my $20 and the things. However, every now a great deal of people feel that J Prince was helping young man out by getting his things back. Yet you see it isn't so much that high contrast. Turns out that a few fans imagine that J Prince was the person who organized the burglary, since young man didn't offer his appreciation to him. Helen B. Young man even yelled about the circumstances, connections. I don't regard any part of this man. On the off chance that you got something for me, man. They got a lot around me. You could call him man. It's bounty. It's bounty ways you can reach out to me, man. Don't get on the web and do nothing freely. Don't do anything managing with no exposure. No part of that say, and I'm great on the keys group. When you purchase cash, 2 keys accompany the vehicle at any rate, man. You're a financial specialist. Luckily, the young man lived to tell the story, and the main explanation is that he didn't owe an obligation to Ruler since, supposing that he did this, it would have been something else altogether. As Tekashi69 has a profound knowledge of it, the rapper thought he was accomplishing something by dismissing the checking-in culture. I will say this right now, this gangsta is all around this world. I don't look into anyone. I regard everyone's dirt that I stroll on. However, I don't check in any place I go, and it will remain like that. We have Rick Ross just externally here this evening. When he was pulling up to come to SHCL, he was met by 100 people outside. However, at that point, he ventured into the ring with Jay Sovereign and his group, and we should simply say he sought the Rick Ross treatment back in 2018. 69 pulled up to Jay Ruler Jr.'s birthday celebration, but Jazz Ruler and his team didn't allow him to go to them. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.